What's poppin'? So we're gonna benchmark the GTX 1060 today. It's taken me forever to get to it because I've been busy as hell, but today we're finally gonna do it. So, does the GTX 1060 have enough power to run the, I guess 4K? I'm playing Dirt Rally, of course. This is just the game I've been using to benchmark for a while. Seems like a pretty decent game, but let's go ahead and put the preset to high. Put it down just a little bit. Start up a game, and if you guys can also see, maybe it's more easily readable whenever it's not a white background. But I zoomed in the FPS counter and all that stuff to like as much as I could, so maybe you guys can see a little bit better. If you can't, I'll still talk about it while I'm playing the game, but I thought that'd maybe be helpful to you guys. So let's get cracking. So first off, I want to say sorry it's taken me so long to get to this point. I know I've had this card for maybe like 2 months now, but December was a very busy month for computer repairs, so sorry about that. But I figured, hey, let's go and get to it.
You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Joker lap. Alright. So turn it down just a smidge. But if you guys don't know, so we're at 3840 by 2160, and we're I guess maybe I should tell you guys my processor before I really get into this. But so the processor is an i5-6600, not overclocked because just didn't feel like getting an overclocked CPU for this computer. 16 gigabytes of 2133 megahertz DDR4 RAM. The game is on a hard drive. OS is on a solid state. And it's an EVGA FTW 1060, I believe. I have an unboxing of it on my channel if you guys want to see that. So far my driving isn't terrible. And the FPS is pretty good as well. So, of course, the preset is on high. We're playing Dirt Rally at 4K, of course. And pretty decent FPS so far. It looks like above 60, which is pretty damn nice. I think, like, for the 1080, I also benchmarked this game 4K on the 1080, and that thing, I'm pretty sure it, like, at ultra settings, I was getting this many FPS. So this card is a lot cheaper than the 1080, and it's still doing pretty good at high, which is pretty freaking awesome. And I haven't done any overclocking yet. I'll probably go ahead and jump. Oh shit! I'll probably go ahead and jump this puppy up to like the highest settings I can do on Dirt Rally, and then see if our frames tank quite a bit, and then we'll see if we can do some overclocking to raise it up a little bit beyond that. But yeah, it seems. Fuck it, let's take the Joker lap. Why not? Yeah, I mean, at high settings for 4K, 1060 can definitely handle 4K without any trouble whatsoever. And our temperatures aren't really too bad. Of course, it's the ACX 3.0 cooler on the 1080 or the 1060 FTW. And temperature is staying pretty steady at 73 degrees Celsius. Although I am in a cold basement, which is why I have my sweatshirt on. And I just wrecked. So it's time to bump up the settings to the highest. Yeah. By the way, I'll give you guys like a personal update, I guess. I've been getting some ridiculous comments on some of my old benchmark videos. Ones that aren't even that bad. Okay, I don't benchmark games with a fucking graph because I don't like that. I think that's really boring to just watch a graph that's like, this is how good the game's gonna run. I personally don't like watching those channels that much. I do live benchmarks because, first of all, it's more fun. I don't have enough time to fucking edit all those graphs anyway, and I don't know, I like watching some gameplay. I like seeing actual real life performance. So if you guys don't like my benchmarks, go suck a big fat one. Let's see, what are we going to do? Let's go to video mode. And, wait, not video mode. Wait, oh, quality, there we go. And let's turn this bitch up to ultra. Yeah. Alright, so if you guys follow my channel at all, I turn on advanced blending at all, which in my experience is a setting that really tanks performance of this game, on 4K at least. So I don't even know if it's really a necessary setting, but it's a good way to show how strong a graphics card is by doing advanced blending.
You need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
So figure why the fuck not. So our FPS is like cut in half by doing all that, mostly probably because of advanced blending, honestly. So you guys might notice a little bit of stuttering. It's still not maybe terrible, but yeah, you can definitely tell. So, fuck you, motherfuckers! So of course we're still at the stock clock of this graphics card. Haven't done any overclocking quite yet. So we're at like 2,000 megahertz pretty much. Getting like 30-ish FPS. So rock and roll, dropping down to 29 and 28 right now. So yeah, not really that great. But we'll see if maybe some overclocking will help us out in a little bit. But yeah, it looks like I'd probably say this, this graphics card can handle pretty much, probably just about any game that's not overly demanding at 4K high settings. Fuck it, Joker Lab. Woo! But yeah, I mean, if you
Only lost one position while taking the Joker, and they haven't jokered yet.
Ah, they haven't jokered yet. Those silly sons of bitches. But yeah, turning the games up to the highest settings at 4K for this graphics card, maybe it can't handle it quite as well. But you know what? This graphics card really isn't that expensive, and it's honestly really impressive how far graphics cards have come in the the recent future, or the recent I guess graphics card cycles, I guess, because I have the 960 and I believe I benchmarked that, and that thing couldn't handle 4K nearly as well as this graphics card can. So I'm proud of NVIDIA for putting out some good graphics cards. I'm ready for AMD to maybe get Polaris out there, and then I can start benchmarking that, because the RX 480 is a good graphics card for the price, but AMD needs to get back into performance territory. So I think it's time for us to do some overclocking and see if we can get this anywhere above 2 gigahertz stably, and see if that takes us above 30 to maybe even 40 FPS. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, so I couldn't get MSI Afterburner to change the GPU clock for whatever reason, but it's an EVGA card, so I just loaded up EVGA Precision, and I bumped up the core clock of the GPU up like 47 megahertz. The memory clock I bumped up like 43. Took the power limit and the temperature limit all the way up. And I think that's all you got to say. So we'll see if that makes any difference on our performance, of course.
Use the Joker Lab to your advantage.
Joker Lab. Oh shit, y'all. So before we were running at like pretty much like 2 gigahertz. Now we're running at like 2038 megahertz. So bumped it up a little bit. And I can maybe tell a little bit of difference with the performance, honestly. Already, probably just a little bit. I don't know. The FPS counter isn't really reading a lot higher. Oh, there's a little bit of dip. Ooh, that was like 25. Ugh, that wasn't very good. But yeah, besides that, the FPS counter is reading... Oh shit. I got fucked up. I don't know. The FPS counter is reading still like, 30-ish, 28 right now. 25, 24. Ugh. It definitely has some bad dips, but whenever it's not dipping, it's really not that terrible. So, yeah. Pretty damn cool. Alright. Shit. So we'll overclock it a little more and see how far we can take it before it starts crashing on us. Alright guys, so now I cranked it up to, I just manually set it to, let's see, 75 for the core clock, and 50 for the memory clock. Now some people tell me I shouldn't overclock the memory as much, and then other people are like, no, the memory does more. I don't know, YouTube comments are full of, I don't know. Some of the YouTube comments are fucking great, and I love you guys. Some of you guys just comment a bunch of shit. But regardless, I guess I love you guys. Yeah, that's how much I raised it, 75 and 50, respectively. And it looks like we're running 2063 megahertz. Hell yeah. And our FPS is in the 30s right now, so that's good. Let's see if it continues. Come on, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I mean, haven't... Oh, no, there's a 29. You can tell I checked the screen because I just hit the barrier. 24, 22. Ooh. Dirt Rally. What you doing to my graphics card? Yeah, it seems like we're still getting some dips, but whenever it's not dipping, it's, you know, really nice, actually. So I think what I'll try to do is overclock it just a teeny tiny bit more and see if it's still stable. Oh shit, I need to just stop driving. And if it is still stable, then I think I'll probably call it at that point. Getting like 100 extra megahertz from a graphics card is probably pretty good, I think. At least I think. If you don't agree, then go do your own benchmark video. But we'll see how that works. See what our FPS gets, and then maybe I'll take advanced blending off, because really probably isn't necessary, honestly. And then we'll see probably the FPS climb up quite a bit after I do that. So, but we'll see what happens. Okay, guys. So I just went ahead and put the core clock up to 95 megahertz over the core clock, of course. Because I don't know. I want to make sure it's pretty stable, and I don't know. I really don't feel like fucking around with the GPU crashing. So far so good. It's running really stably, which is dope as hell. Still getting some bad dips. We just got one right there. To like the mid to lower 20s. God. Stop it, Tony. Stop hitting the sides of the... Okay. Yeah, so hasn't really increased our FPS a hell of a lot, but I don't know. It seems like the dips are still the same, but whenever the FPS, whenever there's like not a dip, the FPS is better. It seems like I'm getting almost close to 40 sometimes. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. And of course it's running, the core clock went down just a little bit, 2088 megahertz now. Yeah, get back on the track, you son of a bitch. Okay. And our temperature is 72, so it's not limited by temperature. Probably just limited by power, it seems like, on these 10 series NVIDIA cards. So yeah, cool stuff. I think probably what I'll do next is just take advanced blending off, which I think I can just do mid-game, which would be nice if I could. Advanced blending. What does that make a difference for? I can see some bushes over there. Seems like it just does stuff with the trees. But in my experience, it really fucks up your FPS. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, it seems like it just... The FPS doesn't make a big... Like the FPS didn't shoot up a lot. But it just seems a lot more smooth. And a lot more playable. Well, there was still another dip, but whenever you're not getting those dips, it just seems like it's a lot more playable without advanced blending. So, basically what I'm saying is, if you got 4K and you got a GTX 1060, it's going to be pretty good, actually. It's really the incredibly amount of performance you get with 4K on a pretty mid-tier graphics card, honestly. The GTX 1060 really isn't that expensive if you're comparing it to other graphics cards. So yeah, pretty freaking awesome. And if you're totally happy with high settings, then you'll be impressed with the GTX 1060. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching this benchmark video. If you thought it was cool, drop a like on it. If you have some shit talk to talk about me, be sure to do that in the comment section below. And also be sure to go fuck yourself. And but beyond that, thank you guys for watching this video. Thanks for sticking around with me so long. Since I just benchmarked this, I'll try to go ahead and order a new graphics card. Race complete. I think I didn't do the Joker lap, so I think I got a penalty.
The stewards have added 30 seconds to your race time for missing the Joker.
Yeah, I missed the Joker. Woo! But yeah, wow, yeah, I suck. I'll try to get a new graphics card. We'll benchmark that motherfucker too. So thank you guys for watching this video. Peace out, motherfucker.